They ask us the question, who wants to go to Ukraine to rebuild houses? They tell you, you'll go rebuild houses for 200,000 rubles. Only we did not expect such a war, that we may too get under artillery bombardment. And the one from our side. So your comrades stolen your assault rifle? Yes. There was a storming. We were radioed that 5 or 6 adversaries approached us closely. How many were there of you? How many were captured of those who came here? I know what they're fighting for here. They fight for their freedom, for their homeland. And what do we fight for? In this episode, you will see an interview of an occupant from the Storm Z unit, which consists of Russian cons, taken prisoner by Ukrainian soldiers. What they were promised for the war against Ukraine, what tasks were set before them, what are their losses and morale, why are their own artillery firing at them? You will find out the answers to these and other questions right now. My name is Valiev Takir Davidovich. I was born on 22nd of April, 1983. Where are you from? The Republic of Bashkortostan, Ufa City. Why did you go make war against Ukraine? I served a sentence in the penal colony number 16. They ask us a question. Who wants to go to Ukraine and rebuild houses? That is, to work. So we stepped out. There was 8 or 9 of us. What did they promise you in return? In return, a good wage, an amount of 200,000 rubles per month. They promised the support to our children and relatives, and, well, to grant us amnesty. What crime have you been convicted of? Article 228, use of drug substances. So you were such a credulous man. They tell you, you'll go rebuild houses for 200,000 rubles. That is probably 5 times more than the salary there in Ufa. And besides that, the oblivion. All your black stains are like wiped off you. So you realize that in reality, you are not going to do the construction. Well, practically yes, I did, afterwards. The Ministry of Defense does not engage in construction. Oh yeah. So what happened? When was it? When did you sign such a contract? We signed a contract on May the 22nd and departed May 22nd. And on May 23rd, we were already here in Donetsk. We got dressed, and on the next day, they gave us assault rifles. We got a training in the training range. How long did the training take? 2 weeks. Why did you flee or leave the place? Why did you agree to fulfill that dangerous mission on the front line? Obviously, it's not a construction, and it's dangerous. Oh yes, I agree. They told us, those who switch the rear gear, they will be shooted. What unit did you get in? The Storm Z unit? What position did you possess? I was in the reserve group. Then I was moved up to the excavation group. That is, I had to evacuate wounded and to supply munitions. But it turned out that in my first deployment, I pulled those wounded into a safe place, took off my armor, put down the assault rifle, and the rifle was stolen by my mates. That's it. Your own mates had stolen your rifle in the front line? Yeah. They went to conduct the combat task and grabbed my rifle. But the fact is, it disappeared. And that is also punishable in our unit. What punishment is provided for the loss of a weapon in the Storm Z detachment? The punishment is reimbursement in full of the lost weapon. So they promised you 200,000, but you quickly ran out of them, as I see. I should say, they weren't paid at all. The fellows receive 1 month or either 11 or 12,000. That's all. They even purchase uniforms for themselves with that money. Garments, gloves, literally boots, because one can't walk in these tarpaulin boots. They're too heavy. They chafe the guy's feet. Everything was difficult. When did you get to the front line, and to what part of it? Well, I got to the front line 2.5 weeks after arriving here. It was my first deployment. We got under the cruel shelling near Occupant. It was my first engagement. Upon our arrival, once we were thrown off the MTLB, a cruel shelling had begun. At once. That is, the road was under fire. But we were lucky enough to reach the assigned premises to the shelter, evacuation shelter. Then we spent there 3 or 4 days and departed for the next mission. That is, for the storming. What was the objective of the attack? Where do you advance to? The objective of the attack was that we had to capture a 4-station line, so to say, and to take a defense there. But how did the attack develop? What were the results? Many of our people got killed during the attack, and many got wounded. We lost a whole lot of soldiers. Many guys got laid there. What is the most horrifying thing? Our killed are still lying there. When we finally reached the blindage, we had replaced 3 fellows. We came here, me and my group, with 4. There were 5 people, including me. And we went. Our task was to take over the positions and to take out the wounded who were near the tank. They had heavy injuries, but sad to say, they died because their wounds were incompatible with life. That is, when you were going to get the wounded, all of them were already dead. It was too late. We got the order 2 days after they were wounded. That is, they had no chances to survive. Only an urgent evacuation could help. When we reached the dugout, a fire was opened at us. A very dense firing. I jumped into the dugout. Another guy followed. There were 2 of us. 3 others got into another dugout. We had to be replaced in 24 hours. That did not happen, though. Yesterday, nay, a day before yesterday, we were stormed. We were told that 3 or 4 men are approaching our dugout and we have to repulse them. There remained just 2 of us in the dugout. Plus, there were 3 others in the next dugout. So 5 people. Those 3 weren't even aware of it, as the radio was with me. I could not inform them because the birdie did not let us communicate. Whenever I poked out, the firing began at us. I heard reported where the shooting comes from, and a fire was opened at the spots where it came from. Then the firing ceased in about 20 or 30 minutes. We spent a night there, then a day. The shelling resumed from time to time. I had an opportunity to come to my fellows in another dugout to find out their condition and how they feel. They had no food, no water. Neither we had any food or water. That is, we were without food or water for 3 days, and the guys before us were sat without as well. And yesterday we were stormed in the morning, after 4 o'clock, if I'm correct. There was an attack again. We were radioed that 5 or 6 adversaries approached closely to us. Me and my fellow mate decided to go out of the dugout. We were fired upon and went back into it. Then a voice sounded, "Guys, do you want to stay alive?" My mate said, "Yes, we want." And the other voices said, "Go out, and we promise no one will harm you. You will stay alive. You will be fed and given water, everything. Go without weapons." We went out, took off the armor, and left our assault rifles behind. We said that there's nobody left in the dugout. Everything went the same way with another dugout. But one of them got out with an assault rifle and was shot dead. Then all 4 of us gathered in a group and were withdrawn out of this place. When we were getting out of the trench, at the trench behind, 2 hours and 1 Ukrainian soldier got blown off on a tripwire explosive device. My mate was also wounded, hit by a fragment. How many were there of you? How many got captured and came here? There were 9 of us. 4 of them and I left there. Then 5 remained. In the end, 2 of us got out. Upon arrival, we were medically examined and treated with hot tea. We were let sleep, and we slept till today's morning. When we got up, a doctor came and asked us how we feel, and again we were given food and drink. What losses suffered your Storm Z detachment during the month when you were fighting here? The losses were huge. Our first deployment, there were around 70 of us. 77. We lost almost 30 soldiers. Killed? Well, not just killed, that is together with wounded. There were about 16 killed. For example, our reconnaissance group was destroyed. Only one had survived. How many such attacks did you take part in? This was the third one. We only had an order to set a foothold, sit in the dugout, and wait for further instructions. We had to be replaced. A shift, but that did not happen. In general, how do the cons fight? How skillfully do they fight, and whether they have no desire simply to flee from this war? You know, that's what I say. The cons' morale is very strong. Only we did not expect such a war. That we too may get under artillery bombardment, and the one from our side. And artillery shelling at you from your side? Yes, even this happened. That is, your artillery bombarded you. We, as it appeared, had to trigger an attack of the Ukrainian army on ourselves. And when they started an attack, we were hit both by AFU and ours shelled at our positions too. And all that was messed up together. That is, ours fired at us and the AFU fired at us. And that's how it went on. How many men remained in your company after 1 month on the front line and 3 attacks? Out of 143 people, about 50 remained. The majority was either dead or wounded. 50-50. A lot of wounded. A lot. Seeing such cases, the fellows lose their morale. They don't know what they are fighting for. That is, we are told, go there, secure your position, attack. That's it. How do you find your first day in captivity? I felt anxious at first. I did not understand what lies ahead. Now I see the AFU men, well, treat us in a human way. Would you like to be exchanged and returned to Russia? Yes, of course. But you'll have to serve your term in the end in the jail, as I see. I agree, but so be it. This war is not ours. What if they tell you again, go and finish this war? I will refuse. I will refuse for the sake of my relatives. Because as I am here, I realize that this war isn't right. This war is wrong. Many children and civilians are killed. They get killed. I saw it all. Peaceful people. I saw it in the AFU soldiers who don't even mean no evil to us. Who just say, go away from us and everything will be normal. You don't touch us and we won't touch you. This war can't be stopped at any moment. I know what they're fighting for here. They fight for their freedom, for their homeland. And what do we fight for? For some truth? For what truth? I've seen that truth. That's not truth. It's a deceit. Some people over there may say, why are you telling lies? If you don't believe it, come and verify for yourselves. That's it. If you were interested in today's episode and would like me to continue doing episodes like this next, then let me know by hitting the like button and leaving a comment. You can support the author by the details in the description. Thank you.